Phest. This is going to be Mars Junior Derby from Hagerstown, Maryland, taking on from Salem, Oregon, the Cherry City Cherry Blossoms. We'll go through and do a round of introductions here for our skaters, then move on into our second game of the day. Coming to us from Mars Junior Derby, we have number 06, Gatenstein. Number 113, Slater. 116, Seek and Destroy. Number 17, Ankle Biter. Number 22, Armstrong Jr. 24, Hasselhoff. 293, Misery Machine. Word number 333, Larry. 523, Oddball. 55, Spicy Bean. 717, Mad Dog. Number 75, Sugar Rush. 85, Baby Stretch. 911, Punisher. 921, Hell's Bells. And number 93, Starstruck. Those are our Mars Junior Derby skaters, being joined here by Livid. Livid, do you want to talk about who's skating this morning for the Cherry City Cherry Blossoms?
I got you. For Cherry City, we have 00, Miscreant, 003, Payback, 03, Collateral Damage, 1, Mini Mart, 18, Intoxicate, 210, Chemical X, 218, Jules Burn, 22, Noddle Rolls, 3, Ferris Wheels, 444, Batty, 508, Midnight Smack, 729, Oliver Twisted, 777, Attacknid, and 888, Risky Gamble.
Those are our Cherry City Cherry Blossoms coming to us all the way from Salem, Oregon. We've got teams here from Oregon, Massachusetts, and Maryland and Hanover, Pennsylvania, all, and Indianapolis, of course, can't forget them. Rome, all competing here this weekend for Philly Fest for Philly Juniors.
Whoa, I totally forgot how to speak.
Okay,
That's crazy.
We got you. You're good.
Shout out to my mother. These are absolutely bomb.
Little muffins, yeah, I need
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, tell her they're delicious. If I see her, I'll have to let her know. Tiny muffins. Tiny muffins, yeah.
All right, period 1 coming up. Let's go.
All right.
Here, I'm just gonna
Go ahead and hang on to those. We'll spread them out. So
make this easier. Yeah, okay. And Mars starts off the game with a lead.
this is 22, Armstrong Jr. Cherry City with Ferris wheels out there to jam. Ferris wheels with an incomplete scoring pass, putting 3 points up. Junior having a seat in the box with his sister Baby Stretch, both serving time together.
Ferris wheels picking up 4 points for Cherry City.
Working a pretty fast pack with Ferris wheels currently on this power jam. Ferris wheels with another 4 points. 11-point run here for Ferris wheels and Cherry City.
And Armstrong Jr. picks up another 4 points for Mars.
Yeah, 12-point jam for Junior.
Ferris wheels getting out with another 4 points for Cherry City. And that concludes the first jam to our game. Cherry City with 17 points and Mars with 15.
Looking at nominal rolls out there for Cherry City versus Skatenstein from Mars to jam.
Mars picks up a lead, but Cherry City quick after.
Skatenstein in control of the jam with a hop and a skip. Comes around and scores 4 points. Risky gamble bringing Skatenstein out of bounds to the back of the pack, and Skatenstein taken out once again. Skatenstein completing another 4-point pass, making this an 8-point jam in the hands of Mars. And Cherry City with a star pass now over to Risky Gamble. Baby Stretch working some defense at the top of the pack along with Ankle Biter. Risky Gamble still with that jammer star, puts up 4 points for Cherry City.
Skatenstein picking up another 4 points for Mars and calling it off.
A second jam down. 10-point game. 28. I'm sorry, nope. A little less than 10 points now. Some last-minute points rolling in. Cherry City 28, Mars 35.
Oh, that made a noise.
A little sensitive.
Yeah, I was thinking that. It's a very sensitive light.
Oh. I don't think you brought that here.
And Cherry City starts off the third jam with a lead.
That's 4-4-4 Batty with the jammer star for Cherry City.
And there is now a power jam for Cherry City.
Batty taking a break to tie their skates. Mars with Oddball out the jam. Oddball seated in the box for a penalty as a jammer. So Batty on a power jam. And Batty catching up on that point spread with 4 points.
Seek and Destroy reforms Batty, and Oddball rejoins the game. Batty picks up another 4 points for Cherry City.
Yeah, now Cherry City with a lead change by 1 point.
And it's now a power jam for Mars.
Yeah, Batty having a seat in the box on a track cut. Not what Cherry City needs just after a 1 point lead change. Cherry City going to have to ramp up their defense if they want to maintain their lead. Oddball making a second trip to the box on this jam.
And now Batty is back in the game, and Cherry City is going to start with a power jam for them.
Yeah, Batty getting 3 more points that were being held on to on that penalty. Going to give them a 4-point lead change now over Mars, 39-35. Looks like Cherry City putting out Ferris wheels to take advantage of this power start that they have.
Ferris wheels gets the lead.
Yeah, nice hustle there by Ferris on this power jam.
Oddball rejoins the game, making both teams have jammers on the track at the moment.
Punisher taking a spill on the inside. Mars down a blocker in the box. Cherry City swarming their defense against Oddball, keeping Oddball stuck at the back. Baby Stretch trying to close up a hole on the inside line, but Ferris Wheels getting through that hole with another 4 points.
Cherry City defense really holding back the Mars jammer, but after a successful start pass, they start their initial lap.
I forgot how to speak.
We all forget these things.
Oh my god, I forgot they were so sensitive. The mic.
Mars with the back advantage. Cherry City down 1 blocker in the box. Nice comeback there by Cherry City. They're now at 59 over Mars' 35 after a lead change just a moment ago.
And Mars gains the lead.
Chemical X making an impressive hip check there on Junior, but Junior stays in bounds. Baby Stretch taking a trip to the box. Mars losing in Junior to a forearm penalty. So it is a power jam now. And number 18, Chemical X. I'm sorry, no, that is Intoxicate receiving that star pass.
Intoxicate picks up 4 points for Cherry City.
Junior coming out of the box with an apex dump, picking up 4 points for Mars.
And because Armstrong went to the box, this jam will run the full 2 minutes. And Armstrong picks up another 4 points.
Mars certainly with the lion's share of points in this jam, trying to close up that point spread when they lost their lead earlier on in the game. 8-16 jam, and we have an official review. I'll get the details for the review. Here's the other stuff.
PRDJ would like to thank all of the officials who are here this weekend. Without you, this weekend would not have been possible. The skaters are so grateful for your time, support, and guidance as they navigate this game of roller derby. Skater shoutouts are still available at the PRDJ merch table for $1. Just a reminder.
Review called by the Mars bench, looking to see if there is a low block that should have been called on one of the Cherry City Jammers in the past jam when the officials got together and talked about the action in detail. There was not enough action to warrant a penalty, so no penalty will be assessed. They will have lost that review. We are back to the game, Livid.
Cherry City gains lead. Skatenstein following shortly after. And Cherry City calls the jam, making this a scoreless jam for both teams. Cherry City's pivot and a blocker are in the box, making them start with a significant less amount of people on the track.
Mara starting this jam with a full pack advantage. And that's Oddball out to jam. Oddball picking up lead for Mars. This is 4-4-4 Batty out with the jammer star for Cherry City. Oddball lead jammer now, completing one scoring pass, now working on a second one. Oddball powering past the two wall of Cherry City blockers, and she is out with another 4 points.
Mars's defense doing a great job at holding back the jammer.
Okay, we're back to our game. Larry 333 jamming for Mars, and Larry picking up lead. I think this is Ferris Wheels out the jam here for Cherry City. Larry with an attempted apex jump taken out and has to recycle to the back.
Both teams have the box very full, making it very low on defense.
Number 3, Ferris Wheels out with 4 points for Cherry City. We are now down to a 5-point game. Beautiful apex jump by Ferris Wheels yields another 4 points, so a 16-7 jam.
This game is very close. Cherry City with 83 and Mars with 77.
Yeah, Cherry City had a pretty impressive lead change a few jams ago, earlier on in the first half. But now down to that 6-point game.
Jamming for Mars is Skatenstein, who gains lead.
Yeah, this is Nonal Rolls with the star for Cherry City, and Nonal stuck at the bottom of the pack.
Nonal begins her initial pass, and Skatenstein picks up 4 points for Mars.
Mars losing Baby Stretch to a track cut penalty. Nonal Rolls out with 4 for Cherry City. Four-on-four jam. Skatenstein fighting with one last blocker.
And gains 4 points.
So Mars getting very close to a lead change in their favor. Nonal Rolls taken out of bounds.
Skatenstein picking up 4 points for Mars. This
Yeah.
has been a very fast pack.
Yeah, beautiful footwork there by Skatenstein, giving Mars now a 2-point lead change in their favor. Cherry City with a 2-wall at the top of the pack against Skatenstein. Skatenstein is in, gets some points. Looks like that's going to be another round of 4 and calls off the jam. So we have a 10-point lead change now in the hands of Mars.
Both teams will be starting with 1 blocker in the box.
Trying to process what just happened there with Larry. Not sure if Larry came bursting through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man or what happened there, but we are in a team timeout called by Cherry City. 12 and a half left to our first half of the game. We've had a serious lack of shout-outs coming up here to the announcers table. They are $1 each at the Philly merch table. We have this one special one that we are holding on to till the next game. Someone was very dedicated for this, and there's good reason for it. But those are $1 each at the Philly merch table. If you give them your $1 and your shout-out, that will make its way up here to the official announcer table, and we will get that shout-out called for you. That could be for a skater, a ref, or anybody you want. That will also go out on the live feed for everyone who is watching remotely.
And they're also $1, so like
That's
it's $1.
pocket
Like, go,
pocket change.
go, get
I mean, if
them.
you're going to go over there, you might as well, even if you don't have any cash, they do have the PayPal set up and everything. You can get your shirts, your wristbands. I got my official Squid Squad sticker yesterday, and you can get the shout out there only another $1 onto that purchase, and it gets you an entire shout out of whatever you want.
And help supports the league.
Right.
Larry picking up a lead from Mars.
Punisher with a block on Miscreant.
And Cherry City's pivot goes to the box.
Yeah, Mars currently down 2 blockers, but Larry is still on the stretch here for lead jammer. Actually, no, Larry now called off. I believe that's a back block hand signal I'm seeing.
Making this a power jam for Cherry City. I believe this jam should run the full 2 minutes due to the loss of lead because of a penalty.
Yep, going to the box removes your privileges of lead jammer or eligibility for lead jammer. So we are, as Livid said, going to go for the full 2 minutes here. Hasselhoff stepping in on the outside to put a stop on Miscreant. Now ankle biter bracing a tripod at the top of the pack.
And Mars's pivot is going to the box with a multiplier. And followed by Cherry City's pivot going to the box.
So 8-8 for both of our jammers. Closing in, it's a 10-point game, 95-105. Mars in the lead.
Both teams starting without a blocker on the track.
Oddball out to jam here for Mars, and Ferris Wheels with the star for Cherry City.
This is for 5 shout-outs. I guess one's love you, one's you're off, and one's hang in there.
Okay, this is for
They
intoxicating.
played for 5 shout-outs.
Feasting has 10, so somebody has to top Feasting.
I don't know if you get creative or...
What's that?
Said I don't know if you get creative or...
I don't. We could do that.
Ferris Wheels picking up 4 points for Cherry City.
Yeah, Cherry City closing in on that points gap. Look at that apex jump by Ferris Wheels. Ferris Wheels now with the chance on this power jam to regain their lead in the game with Oddball seated in the box.
Both jammers are present on the track.
We're being photographed here very candidly. Act natural. Looks like Cherry City losing a blocker to a multiplayer. Oddball fighting for some points now for Mars.
And that was an 11-point jam for Cherry City and a 4-point jam for Mars.
Yeah, that brings us to a 3-point differential here. with about just under 8 minutes left. We are seeing some shout-outs come in here. We've got 5 shout-outs paid for in one shot. And perfect timing because we are moving into a official timeout.
This shout out is for Intoxiscape. It says, "We love you and you're awesome."
That is an anonymous shout out. You have the ability to sign them with the originator of that. That is number 18 from Cherry City with that shout out. There are more to come on that subject.
Did I forget to mention that these shout outs are like $1? Like they're not very much
I can
money.
go to my
like,
car and dig out the change in the console and pay for a couple of those shout outs.
You should like totally invest in them because they're not a lot of money and they make players really happy and it supports a league. So we can continue doing what we're doing.
Right. Our junior derby leagues are all either nonprofit or not-for-profit. We are they're not normally businesses. We rely on our sponsors very heavily and any donations we can get. So that dollar benefits the league directly and gets you the shout out of your choosing. I have a pretty significant one that we have to hold on to. Getting your official 2025 Philly Fest wristband here. We also have the beaded ones back there too. They're on top of the file cabinet. As soon as you walk back to the private officials room.
I will be sure to pick one up. Yay. Ooh.
Oh, and the scoreboard goes down. Let's not give me anxiety over a down scoreboard. I'm still have 2023 championships anxiety when a scoreboard goes down.
That was really bad.
Okay, looks like it's nothing major. We're still at the same score, just in this timeout by our officials. Game 3 following this game will be Philly All-Stars, who was recently just warming up, taking on Indianapolis. Philly pulling double duty because after that, they will be taking on Mars back-to-back.
Followed by the Philly Brawl Stars taking on Black Rose.
Yeah, not seeing any Black Rose people here yet.
No, neither am I.
On their way from Hanover, they probably have a box of pretzels to bring us. That's Larry out there to jam for Mars. Hanover, PA, the official snack capital of the world. Lead open. Larry getting those 2 whistles as our lead jammer.
Followed quickly by Cherry City's jammer. Both teams have a blocker in the box. And Larry calls off the jam, making it a 4-point jam for Mars and a scoreless jam for Cherry City.
Yeah, so Mars with a lead change. A few jams ago, we've been seeing, I think that's our 3rd lead change of the game. And we are still only in the first half with about 6.5 left to go to halftime. Let's now we're moving into a second timeout by our officials. Let's give the this shout out is actually 5 shout outs in one. This is again to Intoxiscape number 18 from Cherry City. Love you, you're awesome, and hang in there. Just a reminder, food is not permitted on any area of the rink. All drinks must have a cover or cap. We do not want any spills on the track. Please be sure to throw away all of your trash. We thank you in advance for your help keeping our facility clean. Also a reminder, if you are on skates, you must be in full gear. And for your safety and the safety of our spectators, skates are not to be worn on the bleachers. Thank you very much. Once again, Saturday, April 5th, Philly Juniors is happy to host a triple header with our friends from New England Junior Roller Derby. That will be the Philly Brawl Stars and the All Stars. And then the springtime event we all wait for, thank you, Autumn, is bringing me 3 more shout outs here. Thank you for the shout out running service by the mother of the very famous Pippa Raygun, bringing me these shout outs. Anyway, Saturday, April 5th, we are hosting this triple header against New England Junior Derby. That will feature both the Philly All-Stars and the Brawl Stars. Not an event to miss. New England Junior Derby is a great community up there. And as always, the springtime tournament we are all waiting for. We can't do without our 4th annual Hoagie Roll. Hey, but we'll talk about that later because there's a rolling whistle. We are going on to more Derby action.
Armstrong Jr. is jamming for Mars, followed by Ferris Wheels for Cherry City. And Ferris Wheels picks up lead for Cherry City, but does have to be recycled. Armstrong Jr. comes out of the pack, following closely on Ferris Wheels' tail. And Ferris Wheels calls the jam. That was a very fast pack.
Yeah, Ferris Wheels, realizing the threat of Junior creeping up, makes the calculated decision to call off that jam, keeping it at 1-0. Cherry City closing in that points gap by just a matter of 1. And another timeout here. We have a shout out. This is for Chemical X from Cherry City. You have sugar, you have spice, you have everything nice, plus the secret ingredient. That must be what Chemical X is. The secret ingredient in that mixture. Those shout outs keep on coming. We had a lack of shout outs for the most part yesterday until the last game. Then they were coming to us 3 or 4 at a time. So we appreciate all of the support that you are giving us for Philly Juniors to make these tournaments happen.
When you go to get your shout out, also check out the Philly merch table. We have some t-shirts, we have an official Squid Squad sticker, we have a ton of merch that you can get, and it helps support a league that makes us be able to do this. So.
I got my merch yesterday, including my Squid Squad sticker, which entitles me to all privileges and benefits of being in the Squid Squad. I will show that at every purchase. And all right, rolling whistle takes us out of this timeout. We are back to some derby and it's some 5-on-5 action.
We have Skatenstein skating for Mars. It is a power jam for Mars. Skatenstein picking up lead. Both jammers are now present on the track.
Skatenstein with a 7-point run and now a power jam. That's going to help Mars strengthen that lead, that short lead they had in the game.
And with that, Skatenstein calls off the jam, making it an 11-point jam for Mars and a 0-point jam for Cherry City. Mars will be starting with a power jam for them.
Yeah, down to a 20-point spread now. Oddball out there to jam solo. Have a shout out here. This is for Risky Gamble from Cherry City. Give him hell, kid. And if that puts me in violation of the JRDA Code of Conduct, I will say that that is a direct quote. That should absolve any responsibility. It's just a joke there. Thank you for the shout out there. That is for Risky Gamble from Cherry City.
And Oddball picks up lead. Cherry City's jammer back in the game. This is some. And it is a power jam for Mars.
Yeah, we've seen a fair share of lead changes. Oddball taking on a bounce there. Fair share of lead changes in this first half of the game. We are not even halfway through it just yet, so this game can still go either way.
This next jam will be started with one blocker missing from Cherry City and their jammer in the box as well.
This is Larry coming out on this power start in favor of Mars. Intoxicate, bracing that tripod. Larry's taking on a bounce.
Cherry City's jammer is back on the track.
This is number 00, Miscreant. Miscreant has a little bit of fire in there. Miscreant coming to get through, but is tripped up in that Mars defense.
And there's a successful star pass to 18 Intoxicate.
Baby Stretch bracing that tripod against Miscreant. Baby Stretch, JRDA Team USA this year will be going to Brisbane, Australia to compete in World Cup.
And Larry calls off the jam, making it a 4-point jam for Mars and a 4-point jam for, no, and a 0-point jam for Cherry City.
So Cherry City's scoreless. Mars with a +4. Mars doing a good job strengthening their lead. And we're down to the last couple seconds of our first half. So we're going to have one more jam and then most likely move into halftime.
Thank you to all the volunteers. Armstrong is out with lead, followed shortly by Ferris Wheels. And Junior calls it off.
See, that's going to be a scoreless jam for Cherry City. And 4 points there for Mars. And with that, we go into halftime. Mars 142, Cherry City 107, taking a 15-minute break.
She loves me so much.
It shows.
And we are starting with a power jam for Cherry City. Junior losing the lead, so the jam will run the full 2 minutes. Donald Rolls picks up 4 points for Cherry City. And Junior is back, picking up 4 points for Mars.
Yeah, Mars with a lead change. Recovering from a lead change that went in the hands of Cherry City earlier on in the game. We do have a shout out here for Mars. I love you, and that is from Maria.
Shoutouts are still for sale, so
We'll be
you
doing
know.
we'll be doing those shout outs all day long over there at the Philly merch table. Plenty of chances here to get those shout outs because we still have a couple more games after this. We have, of course, Black Rose. We have the Brawl Stars playing. Indianapolis is taking. There by our officials just to let our skaters get back up and get off the track with some breathing room. So we are back to another jam.
Thank you again to our medical staff for being there for us.
Ellie and Evie, longtime family here at Philly Juniors, helping us out. Best care we can get from Ellie and Evie.
And Cherry City gains lead.
Yeah, Ferris Wheels in control. And
This is a power jam for Cherry City.
skating sign called off on a forearm penalty, so a much needed power jam in the hands of Ferris Wheels.
Mars with 2 blockers in the box and their jammer. Ferris Wheels picking up 4 points for Cherry City. And Cherry City calls off the jam. Mars will be starting without a jammer and a blocker.
Another shout out here for Intoxicate. Love you, you are awesome, and hang in there. So this is 5 shoutouts in a row we are contractually obligated to call. That is number 3.
No.
Back to our next jam. 126-153, Mars in the lead. Payback out there taking on Skatenstein. Skatenstein taken out of bounds.
I think this is the first time we've seen Payback jam.
I believe you're right.
And a great hit by 724 on Cherry City, forcing Skatenstein to recycle. And a great hit by 03 on Cherry City. Mars losing their pivot and Cherry City gaining lead. Oh, thank you.
Oh, look at this. Thank you for those shout-outs.
Incredible job done by the by Cherry City defense, really holding back Skatenstein, but now it is a power jam.
So this is Payback now with 4 points. Cherry City trying to close in this points gap.
Picking up 4 points, Payback goes around the track.
Yeah, down to just a matter of just under 20 points, spreading these two teams out.
Mars regains a blocker, and now Skatenstein is back out from a penalty. This is another power jam for Cherry City. Skatenstein being sent to the box with a back block.
Yeah, that penalty called late in the jam. That's going to be a fresh power start now in the hands of Cherry City.
We have a shout out to Payback from Cherry City. It says, "Return the favor."
I see where that goes because Payback. Moving into a timeout by our officials. Our next game will be Philly All-Stars taking on Indianapolis. Yes, and then the game after that will be game number 9. Good memory, because I didn't remember that at all. Around the 2:45 mark, Philly All-Stars, they're playing back-to-back, taking on Mars. Our final game of Philly Fest will be right here at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are listening from another time zone, that will be Philly Brawl Stars taking on Black Rose Juniors.
These upcoming games will be great and fun to watch, so please stay tuned.
Well, if you'd caught the Brawl Stars versus Norris Uprising game at the end of the day, actually, that was a lot of good action there in that game. Probably one of the best ones of the day. So the Brawl Stars always have a good time when they're skating.
I can confirm as a Brawl Star that we do have a
Well,
good time when we're skating.
you will be playing Black Rose at the end of the day, won't you?
My team will be, yes. Ooh. Oh, and we have another shout out. This is for Punisher on Mars. Keep up the good work and love you, from Riley.
I believe we are running low on shout-outs now. That means that someone needs to go to that table and keep them coming.
If you find a single lying on the ground, maybe use it to get a shout out, because they're only $1.
You'd probably check underneath the bleachers for loose change that fell out of people's pockets. Although I found a street sign under there yesterday, and I wasn't going to ask any questions. Skatenstein and Miscreant out there with the SARS.
Miscreant out with lead jammer. And Skatenstein is back, going on his initial lap. Mars making a very fast pack. And Miscreant calls it with 4 points, making this a scoreless jam for Mars.
Yeah, now down to a 12-point game. Cherry City slowly creeping up to Mars, and as far as their points. Still about 23 minutes left of the game, though, so this could really go either way numerous times before we have a final score.
Jamming for Cherry City is Ferris Wheels, and jamming for Mars is Oddball. And Cherry City gains lead, but Oddball is quick after. And Cherry City calls it, making it a 1-point jam for Cherry City, but a scoreless jam for Mars.
Yeah, another slow catching up here for Cherry Springs. Not Cherry Springs, Cherry City. Cherry Springs is a different thing. It's going to be a 5-on-5 jam. Our penalty box is clear. Whistle after whistle.
It is now a power jam for Mars. Payback going to the box with, I believe, a forearm.
Yeah, this is not helping Cherry City have a jammer and 2 blockers currently off the track for penalties. So far, no points scored. But Larry is our lead jammer, now has 4 points. There. Oh, go ahead. I'll cover for you. I'll cover. Do what you gotta do. Illegal contact penalty is going to land the Cherry City blocker in the box for a blocking while out of play. Larry running on the inside line, stays in bounds, gets another 4 points. Hey, there's another shout out. Look at that. They are coming in now. Please keep them coming. Every dollar does help Philly Juniors have these events. We will call this here between jams. Larry getting 4 points, calls off the jam. Incomplete scoring pass there, so let's see what the points are going to be. 11-0 in favor of Mars. Mars 164, Cherry City 142 with 20 minutes left to the game. Shout out here for collateral damage from Cherry City. We see you skate with intention. Keep it up. Thank you for that. Two to 4 pack in favor of Mars. Cherry City down a blocker and a pivot. Number 3, Ferris Wheels out to jam. And Skatenstein jamming for Mars. Both jammers are out. Ferris Wheels is in, scoring some fast points, takes a spill there in the middle of the pack, calls it off. Mars scoreless, but a +2 brings us to the end of that jam. 144-164, 20-point difference in favor of Mars. Let's give another shout out here for Intoxicate. This is number 18 from Cherry City. Love you. You are awesome, and hang in there.
We start this jam with Mars having a 20-point lead.
And right off that whistle, Skatenstein called off on a forearm.
Making this a power jam for Cherry City.
And there's some stuff happening.
There's a star pass to Chemical X.
So due to the circumstances, we are going to have a 2-minute jam with no chance for a lead by either jammer. Chemical X receiving that star, gets some block in there by, I believe that was Punisher. Chemical X staying in bounds and completing that initial pass.
Skatenstein quick out of the pack, starting their initial pass.
Yeah, both jammers now in point scoring positions, but neither one can call off the action. Team USA, baby stretch, taking Chemical X down.
Skatenstein picking up 4 points for Mars, but so does Chemical X.
Intoxicate having a seat in the box. 20 seconds left to our jam.
Both teams pick up another 4 points. And a great apex jump is done by Mars in the last second.
Looks like all said and done, 16-8. Jam there in favor of Mars, 180. Cherry City, 154. Three to four pack in favor of Mars. They've got Oddball to take on Ferris Wheels.
And out with lead jammer is Ferris Wheels.
Punisher being called off on a clockwise blocking penalty on that block against Ferris Wheels.
Ferris Wheels picking up 4 points after an impressive juke.
Looks like Anklebiter receiving a star pass, but now being called off to the penalty box. So Ferris Wheels on a power jam coming into the last quarter of the game.
And Ferris Wheels picks up another 4 points for Cherry City.
Dangerous situation for Mars to have their jammer in the box with that point spread closing in by Cherry City's jammer.
This game has been consistently pretty close. And Cherry City calls it off, making it a 16-point jam for Cherry City and a 0-point jam for Mars.
All said and done, that brings us to a 10-point game, 180-170, Mars in the lead. Jam was called off while Mars has their jammer out of the box. So both teams having a jammer on the track, and Cherry City with a pack advantage. Mars calling for a team timeout.
Now would be a good time to remind you that if you are local to the Philadelphia area and like what you're seeing here today, mark your calendar for 2 upcoming events here at the Northeast Racket Club and Fitness Center, hosted by Philly Juniors. Saturday, April 5th, PRDJ welcomes New England Junior Roller Derby for a triple header with NEJRD playing both the Philly Brawl Stars and All-Stars. Then, May 24th and 25th, PRDJ will host the 4th annual Hoagie Roll Tournament, hosting teams from Fort Collins, Colorado, Portland, Oregon, Columbia, South Carolina, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And even if you're not local, they will be live streamed, so make sure to check these out.
Well, really, if you are local, we would rather have you here with us in person.
Yeah.
We really love those loud, energetic crowds here for our skaters. And there's an official review being called off.
We have a shout out to Oliver Twisted in Cherry City. We want more. Keep it up with a little heart. We are happy to see the increase in the amount of shout outs that we're getting, but you know they are $1, so. And they show that they help support a league, and it is really cool to get to hear your name and a shout out when you're on the track, and I would know from experience. So if you have a spare dollar and you want to donate it to a shout out, they're over at the PRDJ merch table. I would also like to take a moment to recognize the fact that we have Indianapolis Mars and Derby Empire vending over here. So please be sure to go check them out and pick yourself up some swag. No, I haven't. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. I love that. So wait. What is it again? I need to just
Take a picture, it lasts longer.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Thank you. That was great.
Literally, I'm talking to her, I'm like, I should show you. So I'm like, I'm sure she's seen it already.
No, never seen that before. Oh. Never seen that before.
She literally assumed that your parents would have shown you.
Yeah. Nope. That's cool though. I like that. I really like that. And as I'm talking to Andrew Keys, I would like to give a special shout out to all the photographers who are here this weekend. Your photographs not only make these skaters look amazing, but provide them with special keepsakes that will last a lifetime. We are thankful that you have chosen to spend your time and share your talents with us. Drew Wiedemann, Andrew Keys, Greg, Ross Cyber, and all the other league photographers who are with us, thank you so much.
coming off the back of this official review. Larry with a forearm. Jamming for Mars, going to hand the hint of a power jam over to Cherry City with a 10-point difference.
We have Nonal Rolls jamming for Cherry City out on their initial pass.
Yeah, Nonal not lead jammer, but is not able to score points against Larry, who is seated and we're still in the box. So no chance for a call-off. It's going to be a 2-minute jam.
And Larry is back in the game.
Nonal rolls with 8 points, bringing Cherry City very close to a lead change.
Both Cherry City and Mars doing great defense, holding back those jammers. But Larry takes the inside and gets 4 points.
Yeah, both jammers now matched up 4-4. Nonal rolls meeting a 4-wall of Mars blockers.
Both walls doing great defense.
Larry picking up 2 more points at the end of that jam. It's a 4-point run for Cherry City. Timeout by our official. Let's give another shout out here to Intoxicate number 18 from Cherry City. Love you. You are awesome. Hang in there. Those shout outs are still available today for the rest of the day at that Philly merch table, along with Philly shirts and stickers and wristbands, anything you could want. Whatever you get, just tack on that extra $1 or $2 and get those shout outs up to us.
And Skatenstein picks up lead for Mars, but Ferris Wheels is following shortly after.
Each team down a blocker in the box. Apex jump by Skatenstein lands him 4 points, and that jam is over.
Both teams starting with two blockers in the box.
A 14-point game with about 10 minutes left to our game. 2-3 pack in favor of Mars. They've only got, 2-2 pack. Each team down 2 blockers. Larry out to jam, and Larry picking up lead.
Chemical X follows shortly behind for Cherry City. And Larry calls off the jam. Picking up 4 points for Mars, and Cherry City scores none. Or scores 2.
Cherry City 178, Mars 194. Armstrong Jr. taking on Ferris Wheels. Ferris Wheels gets to the top of the pack, gets past Mad Dog and Hasselhoff, and is lead jammer.
And the jam is called off by Cherry City.
Yeah, Ferris Wheels picking up 3 points and calling off the action. Down now to under 10 minutes left to our game. Our third game of the day will be the Philly All-Stars versus Indianapolis. And then after that, Philly doing double duty. They will be playing Mars. And then our final game of the day will be Black Rose taking on the Philly Brawl Stars. Also a game that you want to be here for because that Philly Brawl Stars game yesterday was a real good game against Northeast Uprising. I thought we might have had more shout-outs, but I guess we don't. We're just being candidly photographed.
Yeah, they're there for $1. You know, you can get them for $1.
Literal pocket change.
Which is like 4 quarters, and you know, that's not a lot of money, especially in today's like. Have you seen the prices at some of these places? Like, that's a lot of money. So like, $1 isn't that bad, and it's a great investment. So you should do it.
If it was the 80s, I would say that's the price of a phone call at a payphone. Maybe a little bit less, a little bit more. But for that $1, you are getting the shout out of your choosing by us on the live feed and in here in-house. And that $1 goes directly to Philly Juniors to help them with these events. It takes a lot to put on a tournament like this, and we rely heavily on our families and our volunteers to make the bulk of this work, but still takes a lot.
derby.
Well, during that long timeout,
happen. Keep everyone safe. I love you, Mama. I love you, Dad.
All things considered, not bad for a timeout for rain. I don't want to speak just yet. Hopefully, this issue is addressed.
Yeah, let's fingers crossed.
What we'll
knock on
do
wood.
is we'll get Andrew Keys to go up on the roof of the NERC and just throw himself on the roof to block that leak.
That sounds like a good idea.
Self-sacrifice, and then the skaters can continue playing today. Is he looking at me with a side eye? No, he's not looking at me at all.
Andrew, you good with that? You good with that plan?
He's being voluntold.
I have to cut the bigger window to shoot from the top.
Yeah.
I've done 40.
As long as you put your body over the hole, we're going to be good. Until we leave, and then there's a hole in the roof.
I did once mount a camera about 40 feet up on it above a derby track.
Well, were you at
Rolling
Beast
whistle.
Coast Brawl last year where they had the camera on the cable that went across the track?
I own one of those cameras, cables, but I don't.
And you didn't bring it with you? That might have been, was
a lot of work to do.
that Lloyd? That might have been Lloyd who did that. That was Lloyd?
And the rolling whistle means we're back. And only an 18-minute timeout for rain, which is very good.
Lesser of a lot of evils, for sure.
And Armstrong Jr. picks up lead for Mars.
Skaters getting a second halftime out of that roof leak.
And Mars picks up 4 points. Naughty rolls, struggling against that Mars pack, but ever determined.
We have a dedicated track wiper. I see. It works. Hey, it got us back to playing derby, so thank you for that very important position. You are currently the unsung hero.
And there was a star pass from Naughty Rolls to Risky Gamble, I believe. And Risky Gamble is out. I believe Batty is reporting to the box. And Armstrong calls it off, making this a 12-point jam for Mars.
8 minutes left to our game.
And Cherry City will be starting without a blocker on the track.
Our track wiper hard at work. Probably the most valued person in the building right now. Oh, and we are on a timeout by our officials.
Knock on wood, everything goes smoothly.
Rolling whistle brings us out of that timeout. On a freshly dried track, 183-210. Mars in the lead.
Overall, this has been a very close game.
Oh, and a high block is going to put Skating Sign in the box. And a power jam over to Ferris Wheels, who's getting some blocking at the top of the pack by Hasselhoff.
And Ferris Wheels picks up lead.
Still a close point spread for being 7 minutes left to the game. Ferris Wheels is out, gets around the apex, takes a spill, gets off the track and calls it.
Cherry City will start with a power jam in their favor.
Yeah, Skating Sign frozen in the box on a stale penalty, so that will get a couple second advantage here for Cherry City. You're going to have Chemical X out there to start as a jammer. I think Chemical X may have received the star pass or two, but I don't think Chemical has actually started as a jammer yet.
I think you might be right. And Skatenstein is back in the game.
Yeah, Baby Stretch did take Chemical X out of bounds, but also went out of bounds herself, so that would have been an incomplete initial pass if Chemical X doesn't drop back and restart.
Skatenstein is out with lead now, picking up 4 points from ours.
A little bit of a wipe there of our track. We are still in action. And a track cut, going to push Skatenstein right back into the box. And there is a 3-blocker pileup coming around the apex. 2-blocker and a jammer pileup, I should say.
And now there is, I believe, a successful star pass to Miscreant.
Nice skate awareness. Miscreant stays in bounds and completes that pass with the star.
And Miscreant picks up 4 points for Cherry City. Skatenstein is back in the game.
Mars losing. It looks like they're losing Hasselhoff to a penalty. It's going to thin things out a little bit here for Miscreant.
And that concludes our jam.
Yeah, Mars scoreless. Looks like Miscreant with another 3 points, making that a 7-point jam altogether. And Mars does have actually 4 points at the end of that.
Overall, a very short gap of like, I believe, 20 points?
I can't math.
30 points. I don't know.
Yeah,
Do your own math. 214 and
it is
194.
20-point game, I believe, and we are taking another timeout here by our officials. We need a 2 to 3 pack here. Now a 2 to 4 pack in favor of Cherry City.
And Cherry City picks up lead, but Larry is right behind Ferris Wheels. And Cherry City calls it off. I believe it's a scoreless jam for both teams.
Whoa, well, it's
no.
yeah, 4 to nothing there.
4 for Cherry City, my bad.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, she was. Well, she was crawling on me at the Pittsburgh game a few weeks ago.
And Nani Rolls has lead for Cherry City. But Armstrong Jr. is close behind. Nani calls it, making it a scoreless jam for both.
I got a fan here. I'm sorry. Phoebe Stardust. Phoebe's a little too young to be a junior derby skater, but I think it's inevitable. Phoebe Stardust back there. Oh, that was a real awkward look. Absolutely.
And Armstrong Jr. picks up lead, followed quickly behind is Ferris Wheels. And Armstrong calls it, scoring 4 points for Mars. With just under 2 minutes, we will have time for likely only one other jam.
Oh, yeah, we are now still at a 20-point spread with a minute and a half to go. Our track currently being wiped and dried. Unsung hero right now, literally saving the day, is our helper here, keeping that track wiped down when the pack is on the other side of the track. So we do not have to delay our games any further. We are on a bit of a time limit, although it may not be an issue. Okay, Mars coming out with lead with Junior in control.
Armstrong Jr. is followed quickly after by Cherry City's jammer. Mars playing a fast pack.
And Junior going for the call-off, sacrificing that jam. It is scoreless for both sides.
So I was wrong. There's going to be another one, likely.
There's an official review being called. This may just be a timeout. Let's get the details.
Thank you to all our officials who are making this possible, and thank you to PRDJ, the league, for hosting and making sure that we get to have things like Philly Fest and Hoagie Roll. Was it just for time? Was it just for time? The review, was it just for time?
No.
Oh.
So Mars calling for this official review, questioning the points that were awarded at the end of that last jam, saying that points were scored during the whistles, but no points were held up. And it turns out that when the officials got together and talked about that there were points that should have been awarded. As we know, you continue scoring up until the fourth whistle of the first set of whistles. And so those points were awarded, and it's going to give Mars a couple more on the board. I didn't catch the number of points, but they will have won that review. And for what it's worth, they have that review left in their back pockets.
I actually didn't know you could keep scoring until the fourth whistle.
It's the fourth whistle of the first set of four is when you stop scoring. And obviously, as a jammer referee, to keep that level of precision takes a lot of practice. So mistakes do happen, and that's why we have these reviews to correct these things.
And lead is awarded to Cherry City. Ferris wheels quickly followed by Armstrong Jr.
So that review putting a few more points there on the board for Mars as we're at a 22-point difference.
And that was the last jam. The unofficial score is Cherry City 202 and Mars 224, but we'll see what the official score is.
Stand by for MVPs here. Once the score is finalized, our skaters are going to do their victory lap, and there's a rolling whistle, meaning